Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Data. It's the day after futures trading and it is looking like a great day. Most of the altcoins are up. You have Bitcoin up actually over $17,000 and you have Litecoin up over 52% to $231. So we're going to talk about a couple of those things and how futures trading went and just where we see ourselves going moving forward. So with that, let's get started. The first article I want to bring up is by CoinDesk. It was published today, and they say that the first day of Bitcoin futures trading on CBOE is over, and everything went according to plan. So as y'all know, the CBOE had a lot of circuit breakers in place in case the price of Bitcoin jumped too much. If it was 10%, it would halt for 2 minutes. If it jumped over 20%, it would halt for 5 minutes. So we saw both of those trigger. There's a lot of volatility whenever Bitcoin started trading. We can go ahead and actually look at, if I can zoom this out here, I'll actually let me pull up Bitcoin chart on TradingView here, so we can see this. But as you can see here, we had this crazy volatility. I'll pull up this hour chart here. And, so we saw this crazy volatility, when Bitcoin, right here. So this was, it rose, it dipped, and then it rose back, and we've seen it been on a rise ever since. So Bitcoin definitely had a lot of support going for it. Pulling up the 4-hour chart, we can see exactly, so this was, it was going towards, this is during the futures trading, and then it bounced right off of that support and it just kept rising up ever since. So we've seen just a great action on Bitcoin. And, like I said, it's in my previous video, I mentioned that basically a lot of people were thinking that a lot of FUD was going to happen and a big sell-off was going to happen with Bitcoin futures. And I thought that while in the short term it may dip down in price, I thought usually the opposite happens. When everyone's thinking one way, then, the opposite happens. So that's exactly what happened with Bitcoin. We had short-term FUD in the market with the little dip, and then after that, it just shot right back up. So I think that was great news. It just goes to show how much support there is for Bitcoin and exactly, how many people are invested and believe in it long term. So I thought that was great news whenever we saw this bounce back here. So in this article, it says, basically everything went according to plan. There's a lot of volatility. And they said in this interview here that they think it's pretty positive to think about never have trading contract in a lit futures market before. That was the kind of confidence in CBOE systems to bring this contract up. So the CBOE had a lot of confidence in their systems, and they believed their systems could handle it, and it did. Everything went according to plan, and Bitcoin actually, the January futures contract traded up to $18,000. So that's crazy. A big part here in this article is actually the future of it, and I loved what they said here. First, they remind that there's another, futures group, the CME group, that's launching Bitcoin futures on the 18th. So again, look for the price of Bitcoin to continue rising. Until then, kind of like the same run up we had with CBOE futures. I could see it doing that again. And then as well as this is a big one here, the Wall Street investment firm Cantor Fitzgerald indicated earlier this month by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is preparing to create binary options tied to Bitcoin. So that's a big deal. We have futures, now we're gonna have binary options. Then next I can see ETF, a Bitcoin ETF, and then then it being implemented into people's 401ks. I know Fidelity was talking about it. You have Edward Jones, a lot of these investment firms looking and just waiting for that point whenever they can have their clients invest into Bitcoin. So this is definitely positive news, and it's great to see how good everything went for the futures. We can see if I zoom this graph out right here, this is on the CNBC website. It's basically where you can track the futures. I'll put a link for this in the description as well if you want to check it out. But you can see here, if I zoom out a little bit, this big rise. When futures, started trading, it was a small dip, and then it just had this crazy rally, and it's been consolidating and just bouncing between, 17,300 level up all the way up to almost 19,000. So, it's been great. A lot of longs on these futures. So it's good to see a lot of people are positive about Bitcoin in the future and, where the price will be and what price they'll be comfortable buying at with the January expiration. So I thought that was definitely great news. Another article that was posted that I thought was interesting it says people are taking out mortgages to buy Bitcoin. So that's crazy. People's mortgages on their own house, they're taking that out to buy Bitcoin. So if that doesn't tell you there's a lot of belief in Bitcoin and a lot of hype around it, I don't know what does. Because this is, let's call it Bitcoin mania. But again, a lot of people are starting to invest in Bitcoin. And I definitely see it positive, all these investments coming to fruition. So it's good to see. And I just wanted to point this out. The other day I posted this article actually and it was talking about Jim Cramer saying that Bitcoin, his monopoly money, will get annihilated by the futures market. And I said, don't believe this guy. Usually he's wrong. He just likes to overhype stuff. And a lot of times, whatever he says, he's behind on the news. And, he's not very accurate. So, we can see I was right. Futures market, we just bounced right back. Bitcoin bounced right back and it did great. So, he posted this article. It says, Cramer says, wait to buy Bitcoin if you don't know the risk. And now he's trying to save face here and say, okay, maybe Bitcoin's not that bad. Making money's, it's okay if, you're able to make money and stuff. And he says he was just apprehensive about it. But again, a lot of these people will try to create FUD in the market and because they don't understand Bitcoin. So again, always do your research and don't believe everything you see on the news. So, cause a lot of times it's people just seeing the outside. They don't know the intricacies of it and, exactly, what the blockchain technology is. So I thought I'd just show you that. Excuse me. And this is another thing here. This is on the CBOE website, their futures quotes. So I'll go ahead and post this in the description as well. But basically, this shows the January futures, the February futures, and the March futures. So I'll actually refresh it so it has the current data here. So we can see January futures right now are trading for 17,920. February futures are 18,140. And then March futures are 18,050. So we can see here basically what this means is people will be willing to buy Bitcoin at this price by the time this contract expires. So, with Bitcoin right now being at $16,800, that's saying they think that, $18,000 is a good price to buy it in January. So that tells you automatically that, hey, they think Bitcoin's going to be, 20,000, 21, a lot higher than 18,000. So futures are a good indicator for that. They kind of give you a market sentiment. Don't just go off of futures, but again, it's just a light idea of what people are thinking in the futures market of where Bitcoin's going to go. So with that, another coin I want to talk about is Litecoin. So Litecoin has actually been the big player of today. As you've seen here on CoinMarketCap, it's currently trading at $240 right now. So it's up over 58%. We saw this huge run up today. It's crazy. Who knew it would go up this high? And a lot of people are thinking, it's going to go higher, $1,000 by the end of next year. So there's a lot of speculation on Litecoin right now. And there's an article published today, and it mentioned a couple reasons why the rise in Litecoin. So a lot of these are reasons I agree with. And basically what it says is, some of the factors that caused it are, launch of Bitcoin futures. So as you know, there was a lot of anticipation of Bitcoin futures. A lot of people were skeptical if Bitcoin was going to plummet or what was going to happen. So there's a lot of volatility. And basically after futures were trading, and then we saw, Bitcoin start to rally, and there wasn't really that dump that everyone was thinking. Then people started getting more into altcoins and started Litecoin is kind of like that complement to Bitcoin. So usually what Bitcoin does, Litecoin will do. Some people use it as a hedge, but usually there's almost a one-to-one relationship. So people decided, to buy Litecoin because they saw more, you could say more potential for growth. So they saw Litecoin doubling in price sooner than Bitcoin would double in price. So whether that's from a lot of people getting in from Coinbase, and just looking at a dollar value of saying, hey, Litecoin's $180. I can see it going to 360 before Bitcoin goes to 30,000, for example. So a lot of new investors in there. So they bought Litecoin for that. They bought it, in addition to Bitcoin. Just because again, they see it as a complement and they can see it rising faster. And then also, Charlie Lee was actually on Glenn Beck's media channel, Squawk Alley, and he was on his show a couple days ago where he talked about Litecoin. So Glenn Beck, he's actually he used to be, I believe, he's on Fox News, and so he was really popular person with a lot of viewers. And he created his own show, and all those viewers saw the interview with Charlie Lee talking about Litecoin. So you have that going for it as well, with Coinbase being the #1 app on the Apple Store. So a lot of people are joining that and seeing Litecoin as one of the coins you can buy on there. So it's just a lot of things, coming together as one, and basically just a lot of positive attention with Litecoin's rise that it's had, and just a lot of buying with it. So that's why I believe Litecoin's been rising so much, is because you just see all these people talking about it, and all the media attention, and then again it's basically, I think it's it's fourth in market cap right now. So it's one of the top coins. It's on Coinbase. So I can definitely see Litecoin going higher. I'd probably wait for a little dip, but again, it's just been a crazy rally for Litecoin. So it's almost like it's come out of nowhere, because it used to be really steady and then it's just started taking off. So definitely a good coin to be in. I mentioned in my live stream, actually, the top coins I would be in, Bitcoin, Litecoin, I mentioned Dash, and then also Dragon Chain. But I was really bullish on Litecoin. So, it's good to see that hopefully some people got in on that. But yeah, it's just, great time in the crypto market right now. Again, it's good to see that, the futures did really well. And, it's good to see this rally on Bitcoin. So definitely looking forward to, having a higher rally on Bitcoin. These are previous support and resistance lines I drew. And this resistance line was about 16,900. So as you can see, right where it's having that little resistance right there. So if it can pass that 16,900 mark, break over that 17,000, then we could retest the previous all-time highs of near 19,000 and above, and then finally hit that 20,000 mark that I'm looking for before the end of the year. So that's it for the news today. I hope this video helped y'all out. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, thanks for watching.